session, and our topic is related to the global issue. That is, if I talk about that, English. As you know that English is not our mother tongue, but in the influence of English are spreading all over the world, including the various countries. So today's topic is that how any person can learn English and what are the keys to learn English. Because if you really want to go in the outside, if you really want to survive in a very good manner of your life, then English must be needed. So what are the basic keys that important to learn English? First of all, I'll go with my experience that how can I get so much confidence in the English language, because as we all know, most of you guys are belong from the BSEB, that is the BR School Examination Board. And what are the conditions of these boards are before the matriculation, the English is not compulsory, and suddenly you admitted on the intermediate, then English is required, and after that there are a lot of problems the students are facing. Even I also faced, because that was the mindset of the student that before the matriculation they should know any English language. Then why should I know the English language? This is the mentality of the student. But after that, when they go in the math intermediate, then suddenly English language is come, and it affect a lot in our subject. So, as you all know that nowadays there are different curriculum over there, that is the CBSE and ICSE, and there are different boards. They provide a good language, but what are the important things who don't know any things about the English language? First of all, that the English is not a subject, English is a language. How you are grabbed, how you are practices of the English language, that is very important. Then how can we go practices? We should read the different magazines over there. There are different novels over there. We should read the newspaper over there. And there must be you have huge of, you said a bundle of the vocabulary, because in the starting period you have to translate Hindi to English. And suppose that you are strict on the vocabulary, then you cannot be a fluent speaker as my condition over there. So what are the important things? First of all, you should read we should read the novels. There are different publication over there. We can read any type of novels. We go with a magazine over there, like the example of Yojana, Kurukshetra, Chronicles over there. If I talk about the vocabulary, then I must prefer the one book, that is the Word Power Made Easy. That was very marvelous. First of all, they don't teach you vocabulary; they learn you vocabulary. By these books, you can understand what is the meaning of the vocabulary. How can we use the vocabulary? Right? As you all know that there are different persons who are very proficient in the grammar, but they cannot speak English so much they can want. What is the important? But how they are facing a lot of problems, because they know the very good grammar, but they cannot formulate the sentence. That is why they face a lot of problems during their speech, during the suggestion, during the any type of angling over there. So really now this time the English is a global language, and being a part of this global geopolitics and global education population, we must need the English. If you go in the regular practices over there, we can also watch the different YouTube channels. That I must prefer the Sansar TV. There are a lot of news over there. There are perspectives over there. There are big picture over there. You can learn. You can gather the knowledge by which you can narrate your speech. You can narrate your words. You can narrate your expression in a very well manner. So lastly, I would like to say that it is, we cannot deny that without English we cannot survive. We can survive, but if you want to survive in a very well manner, then definitely we should learn English. guys, we also see that in our society, the person who know very well English, they are very respectable in our society also. If I talk about then respect is not that we can, respect is that we can earn, and by, if we are earning by English language, then this we must go with the English languages, because English is not a language. It is our, we can say that it is our influence over the global. So definitely we should learn English, and as we all know that the government also doing well for the upliftment of that. There are different universities, the different English professor has been deployed. So it is a good steps in front of the students and as well as the government. So students should learn English very proper manner, and they obviously they can well in the upcoming time. Thank you, government.
Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Today we have an interaction session with YouTube. So we have the topic how a person can learn a language in English. Before learning anything, we need to inform us that why we need to learn, that why English is important for all of us, and even for not those person who are related to education sector. Apart from that, why English is important for a broader perspective for everyone. These are the few examples by which we can understand. If you want to interact with a computer or an ATM machine, most of the machine supports English language. That's why we need to learn the basic language English for interacting anywhere. Even if you go to any government office of higher forms, then most of the offices work in the language which is English. Even our Supreme Court had only one language which they communicate, that is English language. This shows the importance of English in India. That's why it's not for only students, for everyone that they should learn English. And basically there are few more things that we need to learn, such as in the modern world, it's a time of AI and computer. In the digital world, if you don't know the language English in a good manner, then you are not able to communicate neither with the computer nor with the modern communicative device. Even your smartphone prefers the language English. That's why we need to learn English. For a student, it's more important to learn English because most of the literary devices which the foreign institution publish, like the research paper or something else, that's where also preferred language is English. Not only in India, but most of the countries, they follow this language for the research work. And this shows that if you want to do or excel in your life, you should learn English. Then it's a point that we need to learn English. Then second point is how we can learn English. There are few basic things before learning you need to understand. In what manner you understand a language and in what manner you learn something. Some people prefer by seeing them things multiple times, they learn the language by listening them. Or some people prefer mugging up is the better, or even writing is a style which some people prefer to learn something. This shows that it's depend upon the person to person that what they want to do and what's their way of learning anything. And for me personally, I prefer listening is the best way to learn anything. If you want to learn neither the language or anything, because if you listen to something, then it saves in your core brains, which work in the manner of storing the memory. And this shows that how you can listen. If you listen to something very carefully, it's very powerful way to communicate. Even if you see the Vedic India, the method of translating knowledge was listening from one person to another person before, because that time the written methods were not so easily available for everyone, because the discoveries of that time were not at good that they can provide paper and pen to everyone, that they can even learn and write their knowledge. This shows that listening is one of the best methods of learning English. And English is not so commonly found in India because it's like treated in our country like a status symbol, that if you know English, that's a status symbol that you are a good student or something else. But we need to understand that and we need to communalize that English is not a not a skill, it's a language. On that basis, we need to learn that why English is important to all of us. These are my views. Thanks and have a nice day.
Thank you. Very good. Rathi, please is absent. So Rathi, please go.
So respected sir, my dear friends, good morning to all of you. My name is Rakhi Kumari and I belong for a 10:30 a.m. batch, and today is our live speech session and topic is how can a person learn English language. So friends, what I am going to speak about it and listen carefully. And firstly, I want to say something about the importance of English in our life. Firstly, English plays an important role in our life. With the help of English, we can survive many time and many time, because English is not known about of the educated person, because English know about that person who is not educated. For example, of Otto Fuller, he know about of education, but he know about how can I speak in English in Delhi. So firstly, we think that how can I speak in English, because English is not a hard language. We can speak when our environment like that. If our environment is English, then we can easily speak in English, and if our environment is not English, then we cannot speak in English. For example, we are living in India, then we know about how can I speak in Hindi very well, how can I teach in English very well. But when we go in a foreign country, so they don't know about how can I speak in Hindi. They all know about how can I speak English. This is the difference of the English and Hindi, because it's totally dependent of environment. If our environment that we can speak proper way. So English is very important of a person who want to do something in their life, and a person who want to more achieve, more richer, more famous in his life. So English that time is very suitable for that person who want to do something in their life. And yeah, if I'm talking about of my journey in English, so I belong for the BSEB board. So I really don't know about of English, what is English, but I know about of Hindi, and I present him that I can speak in English when I find a proper environment of English. And that time I am very confused and how can I speak English, because there are the many English classes and many institutes, but they are not proper way to how to teach English. So that time I really confused that how can I speak. Then I contacted my sir and said that I have this type of problem. So how can I speak in English? Because in this era, in this generation, in this century, English is very important in our life. If I really easily survive in this era. So then my sir suggests me that you know about of DIIT Britain. That time he said that time I said that no, I don't know which place is there and which is this institute. Then he said that you go and try some days, and then if you are suitable, if you are if you suitable of that place, and then you can speak in English. So it doesn't matter whose teacher teach you. If you are able to teach any languages, any subject, any education, then you can speak, you can learn anything. So I came in this institute, and when I came in this institute, I really confused that my first day. I remember that my first day is my speech day, and topic is yourselves. I don't know about how can I speak in myself. I know about of myself, but I don't know how can I speak in English. I also don't know how can I speak in Hindi also. How can I introduce myself? So then I realized that in this institute we cannot emerge only our English language. We can emerge our confidence level. We can build up our confidence level. When our confidence level will be high, then we can speak anything. We can do anything, and we can survive any places with the help of English. Not we can help of education. With the help of confidence. If you have persistence, then you can do anything in your life. And yeah, I want to say something about of English language, that English is not a hard language. It's a mindset. It's totally dependent on your mind. If your mind says that I can do everything for English, for education, for surviving life, for whatever you want to do, but you can set your mindset that yeah, I can do, I can only do. It's not so hard for me, because there are the many problems, the many persons facing many problems, but they didn't know how can I face it, because anytime distress we face distress, but we don't know how can I do like that. And English immerse our mind and knowledge. When our mind and knowledge will be high, when our mind will be like a creativity, do creativity, then we are a creative. Then our creativity will increase our knowledge, and knowledge, we all know that knowledge immerse our skills. Then our skills will be high, our skills will be sharp. Then according to me, it's enough for that. If I have a confidence, if I have a knowledge, if I have a creativity, then we can easily survive. We can do everything in our life. So lastly, I would like to say that don't affect your problems. Whatever you are facing in English, whatever you are facing in maths, whatever you are facing in education, then don't affect, defeat your problem. It's totally dependent up to you how can you face, because it determines your own self how you are capable or not. So that's all about it. Thank you for listening my speech.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, all of you. First of all, I want to say thank you to sir with the gift, with the core of my heart. Friends, we all know that today is our very interesting session, and we have to share our experience and our views that how can a person learn English. So first of all, when we are talking about to learn something, the question is arise in our mind: what is the need of the learning that thing? Then answer is that English became very important in this era, in this world, because if we want to take our point in the any parts of the world, then we have to need the English language, because English is spoken most of the country and the most of the place, and English is also important and in India, because we all know that our country have a lots of the language, and when we talking about the Hindi and the any other language, then if we know Hindi, then we cannot survive in our whole country. We cannot take our point in the whole places in our country. But when we know English, then we can definitely take our point in the whole parts of the world and the whole country. And the second thing is that English makes our develop our skill. And another thing is that the most of the writers, it is also important for the students, because most of the writers who writes their books and who gave their in the English. And next point is that English in the most of the English is the also official language in our country. So English is the very important in our country. Another thing is that I want to share my experience then how can I learn English. The first thing is that I am a student of the Bihar board. So in the startings, in that environment when I am living, then I have to face a lot of the problems in the English, because in the starting time we don't know what is the importance of the English. We just think that English is, in Live India there is the not importance to learn English. But after the matriculation, I learned that if I have no knowledge of the English, then I cannot get proper knowledge of the 12th and the after that study. So I joined that types of environments, and I contact some teachers and my seniors, and I started to speak and started to learn English. And nowadays I am speaking little bit English. And the third thing is that then how can we learn English? According to me, there are the 4 steps to learn English. The first step is that if we really want to be a good speaker, then absolutely we have to be a good listener. So the first point is that we have to be a good listener. because if we have the no skill of the listening, in that of the time we can't speak properly. And the another thing is that only listening is not the solution. If we are listening something, then after that we have to try to speak that thing. And if we are doing it continue, definitely we started to speak English. And third thing is that we have to know to read English. So we have to started some paragraphs, some magazines and some novels. We have to start reading these types of the thing. With the help of this, we have to face some new words, some new expression, and with the help of this, we can learn English. And the fourth point is that we have to start writing something. If we are reading something, if we know something, then we have to try to speak that thing in English language. And I think that with the help of these 4 points, completely we can learn English. And the must another thing is that if we really want to reach somewhere, then we have to start from there. So if we are only, if I will speak, and if we are thinking that one day I will speak, but we are not starting, we are not working for that, in that of the time, we can't be a good speaker. So lastly, I want to conclude my speech that then after following that point, we have to join that types of the environment where people speak English and where people try to learn English. And the another thing is that we have to start. We should not think that I am a bad speaker, I can't speak properly, because we all know that a very good example of a child in our house. When they born and after some years they are unable to speak anything, but after listening our voice, listening our words and sentence, he started to speaking little bit, and after that one day he become a good speaker. So my thought is that we have to start, and after that one day absolutely we become a fluent speaker. Thank you.
Good morning to our respected sir and all my dear friends. The man who is standing in front of you all, this is Mr. Prince Sivam from DIIT batch. As we all know that today is our speech session and our topic is how can a person learn English language. First of all, if we want to learn, it is totally different from grammar. If you have proper knowledge of grammar, there is no guarantee you can speak English well, because grammar is totally different from spoken. If you want to speak English, first of all we have to need a proper environment of where English is spoken. Without environment, we can't learn anything. As we all know that English is not a native language. It is a foreign language. That's why it is difficult to learn, because anything is strange for me, then it is definitely we can face some difficulty. But if we English language, if we talk about importance of English in this era, yeah, definitely English is very important for each and every citizen nowadays, because English doesn't give you personality, but it gives that types of honor in this world, where you can as a good citizen. Because if we in this competitive world, we have seen that every perspective of our life we have there is a knowledge of English. Because if we can't have proper knowledge of English, we can't survive in this world. If we talk about my experience toward English, yeah, firstly, as we all know that most of the children belong to a BSc Bihar board student, and as a Bihar board student, Firstly, I also faces many problems because since my childhood, most of the times I have heard that there should be no there is there is no importance of English towards your life because Hindi is our national language and we have only knowledge about English. But when I passed matriculation, yeah, definitely I thought, yeah, if we have can't proper knowledge of English, then we can't survive because English is the demand of this era. When I realized, yeah, English is definitely the needs of this era, then I think that if we can't learn English, then we are just like animals because if we, then I want to learn English. Then as a villager, you have no any environment to learn English because most of the time if you live in village, there is no environment of English language. So if we have to learn English, then we should have live in proper environment where English is learned. And that's why if we want to learn English, then we should have a join that type of environment where English is spoken and where people obsession towards English to learn and eager towards to learn English. Lastly, I want to conclude my speech. If we in this era, if we don't have the knowledge of English, then we can live, but we can't survive. Thanks and have a nice day.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good morning to all of you. A girl who is standing behind this podium, this is Miss Hina in front of you. As we all know that today is a live speech session and our topic is how can a person learn this language. So firstly, what is the importance of English in our life? First of all, English is a language which is accepted, which is globally accepted, and we can say that English is a global language in a 53 country. If English is important in our life because if you go another city, every city have their own language, and so we just go. If I talk about Kolkata, their person will speak Bengali. If we go Kolkata and we don't have a proper knowledge English, then how can we communicate? So I think English is very important to communicate different knowing language, and English also give a chance to. English always give an opportunity to do something to get job in a multinational company. English always give opportunity to study in abroad, and we can say that English is very important in our life because English if we know English, then English develop your skill. If we have the knowledge of English, then we have a confidence and we have to face anything in our life. In this modern era, if we don't have a knowledge of English, then we can't survive. And if I talk about my experience, so I am also a student of CBSE, but we can't judge in a board because Bihar board and CBSE board students are same, because we can say that CBSE board, I am also a student of CBSE board. If we go any CBSE school, their teacher is not teach a proper English, and we can say if I talk about my journey, so if I talk about my journey, I have to face many problems in English. When I came this institute, first day my speech day, and sir has to, and that day my topic is myself. I came to behind the podium, but I have a knowledge, but I don't have a confidence, and I don't have a knowledge how to give a speech. And nowadays in these days, I have to confidence. I have to develop my confidence. And I think that I am able to speak. I don't have a much more knowledge, but I have a little bit knowledge, and I have to speak many things in my view. And and I want to give suggestion. Firstly, if you want to learn English, then you just read anything in English. Second, if you want to be a good speaker, then you want to be a good listener. And third thing is that we want to learn vocab. And fourth thing is that we want to command little bit command on grammar. And fourth is that we write if we write anything in English, because if you do this type of thing, definitely you want to do you want to learn in you want if you do this type of thing, then you just learn fastly in English. And last, I want to conclude my speech. Lastly, I want to conclude my speech. English is very important in our life, so we want to learn English. Thank you so much.
Good morning to all of you. This is Mehrda Sahib behind the podium. As you know that today we have a live session, and today our topic is how can a person learn English language. So let's start. First of all, I suppose that I want to talk on the topic that is importance of English. How importance of English? English is important in every age. Like if I talk about the student age, we know the language of English. We can understand the language. Then definitely we can communicate. Then we can understand a teacher what the teacher want to say. If I talk about in office sector and in office, if I talk about in my work and if I want to do a job, if I want to work in a multi-level companies, if I want to work in abroad, then definitely English is the only one language that we can communicate to each other. We can just start talking to each other. We can understand to each other what a person trying to say to me. So English is the most important, and in that scenario, English is important for everyone. If I talk about India, if we go in south side, then definitely we need to know English language, because on that side they don't know how to speak Hindi. So definitely English is the only one common language that we can communicate and connect to each other, to communicate ourselves, to understand something, to do something, and make us something in our life. And only English is the very easy language to learn very short period of time, because only a 26 alphabets in the English language, and that is a very easy way to communicate and learn. And if I talk about experience of English, then definitely if we go in a very good platform, if we go in office, if we go in any sector, in that scenario, then definitely then English is much more important, because only English we can connect, only English we can survive. If we go in supreme one word and start framing a sentence, because as much as you can just frame your sentence, then definitely you can learn as much as you can learn. And second thing is that if you want to really learn English language, then start reading newspaper and whatever you want to read, but read in English language. If you start reading, then you just read only 10 lines and understand what the word written on that book and speech and whatever you read. And you can speak out, you can read 10 lines, then definitely five words is there, then you don't know the exact meaning of that word. You just pick up and note down, and not go in Google, you just search in a dictionary. Because if you find a word in a dictionary, then definitely you can see a lots of words, and if you habituated to find a word from a dictionary, then definitely your vocab is automatically good. You don't need to learn too much vocab words. So this type of thing you want to do daily in your life, and only you can give only 30 minutes, then definitely you can be a good speaker, you can be a good listener. Then we don't need to learn English language in any institute and any other people. We don't need to a social media platform to learn English language. So if you do like that, then definitely you can learn English very easily. And if you can learn English, then definitely sometimes in futures they give you a profit. English give you a, if you learn English, if you know the language of English, then they can develop your personality, they can develop your thinking power. So English gives you a life, a better life. So if you follow this type of steps, then definitely you will be a success in your life. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Very, very charming and splendid. Good morning to our respected staff and all my dear friends. Today's topic is importance of English. How can a person learn English, English language? And I am talking about how I learn English language. When I am interested in science and maths in my childhood, I saw that English is important because the science subject and math subject. Math subject is always in English, and you can learn that type of science and maths. You definitely learn English. And what is the importance of English? Importance in English is our India and all over the world. This is called as geopolitics, science, technology, and all the things of they also is in English, because you know our issue is in talking about in English and not in Hindi, and all over the things in English. You can go to a restaurant and you have a menu, and it is in English, because everybody in English saying, and he don't know in English, but he's only try to write in English, because he shows the status of is there. In our university system and our constitution always not, but in 50% chance is the he says to the English, and it's the my experience is in English. It is easy language, because you write in English is not of type of Hindi is to connect with them. It's comma and full stop. That is the type of all the things. My experience is English is not hard. For, you can go and write in Hindi and translate in the English, and it is captured in the mind. My suggestion is all new student and all my dear friends. You come to the coaching and you capture in your mind, because you develop your photographic memory, and you always try to capture your mind and grammar. I connect your life, and I saw the sir studying the word begin. मतलब begin means लगा था and लगी थी. I connect my life, and I say that always thinking about she begins to my dreams, and all the things I try to capture my life, and grammar is also important because you don't know what is used to how to use to this type of things learn. And lastly conclusion by saying you don't know it is not important and in present time, but you in the future, and you go into the international level, and you go into the all the things, and you get success in your life, and it is important. Then you learn your enemy language, and connect to the all the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Respected sir and my all dear friends, a very charming good morning to all of you. As we all know that today is our live speech session and our topic is how can a person learn English language. So friends, what I am going to speak, please listen carefully and cooperate with me. As we all know that English is our global language and which is officially accepted by our government. And if we want to do something in our life, then definitely we learn English. And if we get a chance to go in foreign country, we can go. And if we have to talk with any foreigner, then we need to learn English. Then we need to learn English. That time we can communicate with any foreigner in a very easy way. English is a very easy language to communicate with any people. If we get that type of environment where English is spoken, then we can easily speak English. And we easily speak English, and we don't get that type of environment where English is spoken. And as an example, at home we always use Hindi language, but where we get that type of environment as this institute, when we come here, then that time we use. If we want to be a good speaker, then I think that we have to a good listener. We have to a good listener, good writer, and a good speaker. If we want to be a good speaker, then we have to need that we have to be a good listener, writer. And if we write some lines, then our mind captures some sentences. And I know my grammar is good, but my English is not as well as my grammar. But I can say that even this time my English, I speak very well. I speak better than before it. I speak better than before it. When I came in this institute, and first day when I came behind this podium, I have lack of confidence, lack of knowledge also, and lack of hesitation. That's why I came behind this podium, but I didn't speak like today. But I know today's speech is not good, but it is little bit. And lastly, I would like to say that if we want to do something in our life, then we have to learn English. We have to learn English. Without English, we can live, but we can't survive our life in this era. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, everyone, respected sir and all my dear friends. And first of all, I would like to thank sir who has given me a golden opportunity to go on the podium. And the topic is that how can a person learn English language? And I think that there are two things in the English. That is, first is grammar, and second thing is spoken. I think both are the very different from each other, because if you want to become a fluent speaker, you don't have a fancy words like that is in if you want to become a fluent speaker, you have to some limited words, because in the communication there are lots of people who doesn't know the fancy words. So we should, if you want to become a good speaker, then you have limited words that is that words know all the people. If you talk about grammars, grammar is totally different from others spoken, because if you want to become a job, if you want to become make some post like if you want to crack SSC, then definitely your grammar should be there, and the huge the knowledge of your grammar should be deep and there, because if we talk about the importance of English, how importance of English in our life, because if we go outside Bihar, if we go outside our country, then definitely in Hindi language is not there. So we should one language that is common in all over the world, and that is English. So that's why we should have the language that is English. That's why if you don't have the proper knowledge of English, then you don't communicate with other peoples. Like that, if you go to outside in Bihar, like if you go South India, if you go outside our country, that is like England, Australia, and lots of countries. So English is very important. And if we talk about my experience towards English, and when I was in 6th class, I joined a proper coaching of English, but I only study 1 hour when I go on the coaching, and only study 1 hour. I never repeated that task on my home, because I belong to a BSCP board, and everybody knows that what English is important in BSCP. That's why I never attended towards English. And I want to give suggestion towards all of this, because I am also newcomer here, so I don't have any lots of ideas to give suggestion, because I am newcomer here and lots of intellectual here. So in my point of view, if you want to become a good speaker, then definitely you should have speed, and you have build up your confidence levels. First thing that if you go on the podium, then you have a lot of hesitation. I also feel that what the people think I will say about me. If you will do wrong, you will say wrong. But this is the another thing. If you will not do it for yourself, then definitely in this world there are no one in this world who can do it for you. Then you should have to try it your own way. What the people thinks or say about you, don't care. So I lastly conclude in my speech that English is very important to communicate with others. So thanks.
Thank you very much. Next hey guys, this is me Rathod here. First of all, good morning to you all. And today we have a topic, that is how can a person learn English. So firstly, I would like to say that why we need to learn. The need of English is like whenever we go in other state, or whenever we go out of our village, then definitely we feel that we should have the knowledge of English. If we don't have, then you can survive, but you cannot be like that. You have to if you have knowledge of English, then you can survive everywhere, not in your only village. And if we talk about the importance of English nowadays, then it is like nowadays English is like we all know that English is international language, and everywhere English is everywhere we just go and see the importance of English. Like today's era, the like whenever we use phone, then we have the option to take our phone in Hindi mode also, but we don't do, because English is, I can, according to me, what I think is about English isn't that hard as Hindi. Hindi is too hard. If we really want to understand Hindi, then definitely we will have to work very hard to learn Hindi. But when it comes on English, then it's nothing in front of Hindi. English is very simple, and we have to learn it for our better future. If we talk about other importance, then in this era we see that English is we see that we have to communicate with other countries. Then we only can communicate in Hindi. Doesn't matter what your mother language is, but you will have to if you have to communicate with other countries person, then you will have to know English. If you don't have knowledge of English, you cannot connect with them. And we see today's generation that everyone is 9-year, 10-year-old kid have smartphones and have a laptop, computer in their home, and they use, and they use because they know little bit English, and this shows the importance of English, and this shows the future of English. And if you talk about my experience, then my experience is like I was not good from the starting, but when you start doing some work, then it is said by our ancestors that practice makes one perfect. And if you are practicing in any language, then definitely you can get more success in that thing that you are practicing. And if we talk about lastly, the conclusion is simple from my side, that you have to do it. You have to understand what you have to do and why you have to do. That's the more important thing, that you have to understand that why you want to do this thing in your life. That's what from my side.
Hello everyone. Today we are discussing about English, what is the importance of English in our life, and how we can learn English. So, my name is Kushal Kumar. I'm a student of this institute. So I'm sharing my point of view. Lots of students are coming on here. They say to English is a very vast language, but that is not a reality. English is a very easy language, because they said this type of thing because they are coming to a local language or environment. Due to they say to English is a very hard language, but you will try to speak and you will try to learn there very easily. Nowadays, what is the importance of English? We are using local goods, just like local gathering crops, goods, anything, any tangent goods, just like a smartphone, even a kitchen item, they exceptional by the English word. You say that that is a good, bad for the health, and then you will eat, and that is important. Now the local word are local goods are available, and they are sequentially written in the English word. So nowadays that is necessary. But you should you want to visiting, and here there you are going to even that railway platform there, they all are supporting to the English, but they all are promoting to the English sector, and even that your smartphone, they are working to the maximum time of English. Even that is not a this is AI depend on the IT sector, and the IT sector is also promoting to the English language. So this is nowadays need of English. So what is experience about my on the English? I'm teaching in Kathmandu. Me and them have no any connectivity language. We we connected only for that language is English, and that was a connectivity language for me and them. Due to we are buying to anything, we are communicating to either batch and there and but I will say to all but I will say to all, this is not a vast language. You will try to learn this language. You should also learn this language, and their future for this language. Even if you want to a good personality and you want to communicate to foreign person and you want to work in the other country, you are a must for the learn this type of English language, and they can build up your new personality. Thank you to all.
Thank you. Neeraj, you want to explain? Neeraj. Yeah. Thank you. Attendance.